All right, Miss Gia's class. Hey, Miss Gia and Miss Christa's class. So, we are going to correct the worksheet about Queen Victoria. All of this information was in the first video where we looked at the differences between Queen Elizabeth I and Queen Victoria. So let's see if you remember. When was Princess Victoria born? What year was she born? And remember, she is princess because she is not queen yet. Before you are queen, you are the princess. That's right, she was born in 1819. Nice job. Now, when did she become the queen? When was Victoria the queen? She became the queen in 1837. In 1837. Now, do you remember, when did Prince Albert die? What year did Prince Albert die? Correct, he died in 1861. And do you remember we talked about the Diamond Jubilee? What year was the Diamond Jubilee for Queen Victoria? When did she celebrate 60 years of being a queen? That's right. In 1897. And what year did Queen Victoria die? This is when she stopped being queen because, of course, she died. So what year did she stop being queen? Because she died. Well, there's one option left, so I think it is 1901. All right, friends, now what we need to do is we need to put all of these dates onto this timeline here, and we need to put them in the correct order. So let's see, what is the first date that we need to put on this timeline? What is the first date? It looks like the smallest number is 1819. So when Queen Victoria was born, that was the first thing that happened. Then, what happened next? What year is next? Good, 1837. So she became a queen. That is the next event on our timeline. And let's see, what's the next year that we put on the timeline? That's right, 1861, when Prince Albert died and Queen Victoria decided to only wear black clothes for the rest of her life. Then, what's the next date? Good. The next year is 1897. So you see all of these years are in the 1800s. So we have 1819, 1837, 1861, 1897. But now we are in the 1900s. And there's one event that happens in the 1900s. What year is that? That's right, 1901, when Queen Victoria dies. So we have the 1800s, 1819, 1837, 1861, 1897, and then we pass to the 1900s, 1901. is the first date and the only date for Queen Victoria in the 1900s. Now, I want to test you guys. Let's look at question number 3. Question number 3 says, which of these dates is in the 20th century? Ooh. Do you remember about centuries? How do centuries work? How many years are in a century? That's right, there are 100 years in a century. So if we are talking about the 1800s, what century is that? Is it the 18th century? No, remember, the century is always the year plus 1. So 18 plus 1 is 19th century. So we need the 20th century, though, for this question. Well, when is the 20th century? What year should we look for? That's right, we need to look for the 1900s, because 19 plus 1 is 20. So what date of these 5 dates, 1819, 1837, 1861, 1897, or 1901, is in the 20th century? Well, we know that from this point, from this point to this point, all of this is the 19th century, and from here on is the 20th. So that means that this date, 1901, is the only date in the 20th century. So Queen Victoria was born in the 19th century. She was born in 1819, but she died, she died in the 20th century. So she was born in one century and died in another century. Wow, that's really cool. I don't think a lot of people now can say that they were born in a different century. Oh, except Miss Gia can say that, because I was born in the 20th century, but now it is the 21st century. Because I was born in the 1900s, not early, not like when Queen Victoria died. No, much later. But that's still the 20th century. And now we're not in the 19s, we're in the 2000 something. So 20 plus 1 is 21. So Miss Gia was born in the 20th century, and now I am alive in a different century, in the 21st century. All right? So, friends, check your answers. If you have any questions, you can let me know. All right, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all on Monday or Tuesday. All right, bye.